The next thing we'll be discussing is user roles. In WordPress, user roles are predefined levels of access that determine what actions a user can perform on a website. Each role assigned has specific capabilities, such as creating posts, editing content, or managing site settings. Each of the different user types allows for different levels of control depending on the user's function on the site. The standard roles include administrator, editor, author, contributor, and subscriber. Here's a quick summary of each role. The administrator has the highest level of permission. The admins have the power to access almost everything on the website. An editor has access to all posts, pages, comments, categories, tags, and they can upload media. An author can write, upload media, edit, and publish their own posts. A contributor has no publishing or uploading capabilities, but they can write and edit their own posts until they are published. A subscriber are people who subscribe to your site's updates. And finally, a viewer, which isn't an official role, is somebody who can read and comment on posts and pages of your website. Each user role is capable of everything that a less powerful role is capable of. So in other words, editors can do everything authors can do everything contributors can do, and so on. It's important to be able to manage what on a website can be edited. This will ensure proper security, and you can restrict access based on user needs. Let's take a look at how the various roles will affect our website. So far, in the website that we've been working on, we just have the default administrative role. Keep in mind that this role has access to everything on the site. We can, however, create different roles depending on the needs of our project. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a new user. We'll go ahead and we'll create an editor. I'll give this user a username of editor. It is required that you assign an email to any of your users, and then optionally you can assign a first, last name, and a website. By default, a password is going to be generated, or you can go ahead and plug in your own password. As soon as you go ahead and assign the new user, they will receive an email which is going to prompt them to log in and change their password. You want to make sure that you change the role to the appropriate role. So right now I'm going to create the editor role. I'll go ahead and click Add New User. Once you've set up your user, you will see that they will be listed under users. Let's go ahead and log in as an editor so we can see how the site differs. As the new user, you will receive an email that looks something like this, and you'll need to set your password by following the link. I'll go ahead and do this now. I'll enter the necessary details and click Login. This is going to log me into the website as the editor role. Keep in mind that as an editor, I can create, edit, publish, and delete any post or page. I can also moderate comments and upload any sort of media to the media library. I'll also be able to access the tags and categories. If you compare the dashboard menu to the menu of our admin user, you can see that the menu changes. WordPress automatically hides or doesn't give access to the editor user. They are not able to do things like switch themes, install plugins, and customize the site in any way. But this user will be able to do things like create a new post or edit a page or upload new media. As you can see, as an editor, I am not able to manage any users either. So if we want to create additional users, we'll have to do that logged in as the administrator. In order to do this, I'll need to log out as the editor and log back in as the administrator. I'll go ahead and quickly make users for the additional roles just so I can show you what WordPress looks like. I'll go ahead and add users for the various other roles that are available, and we'll quickly look at WordPress and see what these look like. As you can see, I now have 5 different users. Each user has its own specific role. We already took a look at what the editor role is going to look like from the back end. So let's log in as these other roles and see how the WordPress dashboard interface is going to change. We just looked at the difference between an editor and an admin user. This is what the dashboard is going to look like for an author. So you can see an author, since they can only create, edit, publish, or delete their own posts, their menu is somewhat limited. They are not able to add pages, modify comments, add themes, manage plugins, or anything like that. This is what the dashboard is going to look like if you're a contributor. Keep in mind that a contributor can only create and edit their own posts, but they can't publish them. This is a great role for someone who might be contributing to your website and writing posts, but you want to have someone else read through the posts before they are published live. And finally, this is what the subscriber role is going to look like. A subscriber is someone who wants to stay up to date with the website posts via their email inbox. They do not have any sort of editing privileges whatsoever on that website. They can simply post comments if comments are enabled. Typically, we probably will use the subscriber role the least, but the other roles can be extremely helpful if you're working with other people, or even if you want to have your clients have some access to the website, but you want to prevent them from getting access to everything because you don't want them to inadvertently mess something up or delete something. Having the ability to control what users can do on your website is a huge bonus in WordPress, and it's very useful to be able to do this. One final thing about users that I do want to show you is what happens if a user has contributed to the website and then at some point you delete them from your website. I'll go into my posts, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a quick edit and reassign the author of a couple of posts to something else. We'll make this post be authored by our editor. I'll click update. And then I'm going to come down to this one right here, and let's have this be authored by our contributor. And I'll click update. And finally, we will do one more quick edit, and we're going to switch this one to our author. What's usually going to happen is if a user is logged in with their user role, if they make a post, it will automatically set them as the author. But obviously, as the administrator, you can change any of these things. I have my admin user who's made most of the posts. I have an editor who's made a post, a contributor who's made a post, and an author who has made a post. If we go back to our users, all users, and let's say I want to delete my contributor, I can go ahead and say delete. And as you can see, I have a couple of options. What should be done with the content owned by this user? We can choose to delete all of the content. And in that case, if this particular user had authored pages or posts in some scenarios, all of that content will be deleted. You can also assign the content to someone else. So if I click attribute all content to and specify this to go to someone else, so instead of having our contributor, I'm going to assign this to our editor, and I'm going to click confirm deletion. As you can see, I no longer have my contributor, but if I go back into the posts, the previous post that we had that was done by the contributor has now reassigned to our editor. I think that you'll find being able to control how users can access the website to be very beneficial, and it can help to ensure that your site stays secure by limiting people's access and not allowing everyone to be able to do anything that they want on the website.